Anyone get the joke? We're going to be talking about sauces. Tomato sauce. Oh my goodness. I know you got it because you're intelligent. Yes, you're with me. So we're talking about sauces today. And I want to start off by telling a story in terms of why it's important to do your due diligence when it comes to sauces. Sauces can be a key member of your team. They come, as key as estate agents because they are people who are bringing you deals, and this is one of the cogs that we need to get in that systemized business. But I'm going to tell you a story about sauces. Yes, this was months ago now. I got in touch with this company, literally did a Google search in terms of property sauces, and this company came up. Got in touch with them, very professional, very polite, and essentially they arranged to give me or show me a presentation to demonstrate what it is that they've done for others. Okay, that's all good. So had this presentation, and it was online, all on the laptop and things like that. And they showed me deals that they had sourced for people, and then they evidenced the deals in terms of by showing me the properties that were online on Rightmove, what they'd sold for, and then having a look at what the properties were worth in the area, and just to demonstrate and evidence that they were sourcing below market value deals. Everything stacked up. This is just in a nutshell, by the way, because I don't want to keep you too long, but I mean, everything stacked up. It looked good. The only thing was, for me to get access to the deals that they had, I had to pay a fee up front. Red flag. I said, okay. I mean, what you're saying sounds very, very, compelling. It sounds legit. But let me just have a think about it. Okay. I ran this company past my other half, my business partner, David, and he was like, I've heard of them before. Check with such and such. Because I've heard of them before, just check with such and such. I'm sure they know more about this company. Now, just before I go any further, you've noticed that I'm leaving out certain names. I'm hoping that you're keeping up with the story. But I'm doing that because I'm not a person to throw people under the bus. I am not a person to take money out of people's wallets, you know what I mean? That's a business. They're doing their thing, and that's fine. But what I am trying to do is to explain the situation to you. So if you come across a situation of your own in future, you'll be able to remember what I'm saying to you, and ding 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 ding, that bell will just go off as if, alarm bells, red flag. No, I need to take a step to just really assess the situation. Anyway, going back to the story. So I contacted this individual and I said, just got off the phone with such and such. Before I could even finish the sentence, all I heard was from the other side. I was like, what does that mean? Essentially, what had happened to this person, they contacted this company and they sourced, or they bought 6 deals, okay, and they paid an even bigger sum of money than what I was asking for. Obviously, they had multiple deals, so they ended up paying quite a lot of money up front. And of those 6 deals, I think 3 or 4 of them fell through, and the remaining properties were just taking so long to even exchange contracts. And then the communication between, this person and the company was really poor. So it just got to a point where, you know, this person was like, I want my money back. And there was a lot of back and forth, as you can probably imagine. And long story short, they didn't get their money back. They didn't get, I think they got a portion of it, but it wasn't even the equivalent. It wasn't right. Yeah, they should have got 100% of their money back, because ultimately none of those deals went through, and they lost money because of it. So I just wanted to share that with you, because, you know, I did mention in a previous video that everyone wants our money, and so you need to ask questions. And if something doesn't feel right in your gut, I'm not talking about your heart, yeah, these people, they are very likable, but you're in business now, and you are not in the business of liking people, and you're not in the business of making friends. You're in the business of making money and growing your portfolio and building a sustainable business. So if there's something that's just like you're not feeling, listen to that feeling, listen to that, and ask questions. Sources need to be registered with HMRC for anti-money laundering purposes. They need to have their own insurance. They also need to be registered with the ICO, which is the Information Commissioner's Office, I think. They need to be registered with those three things. They need to have at least those three things. And then, not to mention, there's questions that you need to ask them to see how credible they are as sources. The thing about sources, for those of you who don't know, sources are property investors, but they secure the deal and they offer the deal to us, to other property investors for a fee. That's what they do. That's their business. That's what they do. Okay, so they have the same skills, but instead of keeping the deal for themselves, they sell them, and that's how they make their money. So when they're presenting you with a deal, you need to be able to analyze what it is that they're proposing or they're selling to you, until you get to a stage where you're working with sources or a source that, you know, on a level, you've done multiple deals, you trust that they know exactly what they're doing. Until that point, you need to be asking certain questions to make sure that they're credible. And by that, you're not only assessing them, you're assessing the deal that they're proposing to you, but that deal is obviously going to be a reflection on them anyway. So how do you assess a deal and know whether it's legit? Because a source is going to bring something to you, but just as you see houses online and you do your due diligence before you go out to a viewing, you're not gonna go necessarily to a house just because a source has brought it to you. You're still gonna want to do that extra bit of questioning and due diligence before you go out and look at these properties. Now, things that you want to ask are, have you got any pictures? Okay, because you want to be able to see inside this property. Okay, when you're asking them what condition is the property in, I would try and ask that question in 3 different ways. Okay, just to see if everything correlates, or just to see whether they contradict themselves. So for example, a source may say to you, oh, the house doesn't need much work doing to it, you know, just cosmetic. Then you might say later on, and I'm not saying to ask straight away after, but later on you might say, okay, so on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being fantastic, 1 being abysmal, what number would you rate the condition of the property? Now, if they turn around to you and say 4, but they've told you that it doesn't need much work, what is that saying to you? Yeah, it's either that they don't know what they're doing, or they're lying to you. So you need to ask questions and ask them in multiple different ways in the conversation. Keep it conversational. Don't make it feel like an interview and inquisition, but that's what it is. But keep them on a level video. If you like what you've seen so far, or if you like this video, please press the like button, hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so you can be aware when I'm posting my next video. Until the next time, take it easy. Bye.